back. That's right. Steve Mallett has returned from Oregon. What did he miss? Well, he missed a lot. He missed the Coldplay concert cheating drama.
No idea what that is.
He missed the more flooding, unfortunately. I had the grandbaby in the office, and she played with everything.
Kept everybody happy.
Our coworker stuck me in the trunk for social media, and I changed all the passwords while you were gone.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're
well,
welcome.
that helps me out a bunch. I'm just going to go home now then.
Okay,
Can't
bye.
do anything. Yeah,
Okay,
you hold
bye.
down the fort some more. Well, we want to thank our sponsors.
For
Couldn't do
sure.
the show without all our wonderful sponsors.
Deep Eddy Vodka Tasting Room.
Where the vibe is smoother than the vodka and the only thing on the rocks is your drink.
Jovi Belterra.
Where 55 plus means more fun, fewer curfews, and absolutely zero tolerance for boring.
No fewer curfews? Is there a curfew?
There are no curfews.
Okay. I was like, is there a curfew?
Lesser curfews.
Lesser curfew. South Star Bank.
Where big city banking meets small town howdy. And they still treat your name like it means something.
And Mallett Integrity Team Real Estate.
Dun, dun, dun. Where real estate is handled with Texas grit, straight talk, and just the right amount of calm and confidence to keep things smooth from the start to sold. That was pretty wordy.
BS.
I should have redone that one.
That's a BS one.
I should have redone that. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance.
Hey,
but give us a call.
By the way, if you haven't seen Michelle in the Trunk video,
yes.
go. Please do us a favor. We also record live on Instagram all of our monologues, and if you haven't followed Mallett and Michelle on Instagram, please just go like it or go follow it or whatever the terminology, because we're going to lose it if we don't get over 1,000 followers, and I think we're almost there, but we need people to follow us.
Please go on Instagram and follow us.
I would appreciate it. But then also go to Mallett Integrity Team and follow us, and you can see me get put in the trunk.
Get put in the trunk.
In the trunk.
She's been a bad girl.
Steve, I want to ask you about your vacation, but do you seriously not know what happened with the Coldplay?
I saw a picture, but you sent out a picture of a shirt or something. I have other than that, I don't know.
We figured you had no idea what was going on.
You know what? Do I really care? Do
Okay,
I need to know what happened at the Coldplay concert?
I got to tell you, because the memes that have been coming out of this are like top tier level. So Coldplay, which, I'm not a big fan of Coldplay, but whatever. They do a kiss cam, and they were going around the audience, and they zeroed in on this couple, and this guy, pretty tall guy like yourself, and has his arms wrapped around the woman in front of him, kind of in a tight hug embrace, and the camera's right on them, and all of a sudden he lets go of her and ducks.
No.
You've got to watch the video. It's funny. And she turns around instantly, and
they weren't supposed to be together?
No, and Chris Martin said either they're really embarrassed or they're having an affair. Turns out he is head of a billion-dollar tech company, and she is head of HR for the company. And the girl that was next to them also just got promoted with an HR. Well, since then, he's resigned. I don't know what's happened.
And rightfully so.
They're married, and his wife is going to be rich.
Yeah, geez.
Rich.
Oh,
so,
man.
yeah, that's what that was.
You know what? You're on camera 24/7 these days. You don't get away with anything anymore.
No.
There was a couple times I was on the beach in Oregon on our trip, like middle of nowhere, like 10 miles from the nearest civilization, and I'd have to go pee, and I'd go stand over off the side of the beach, and I'd go, I hope nobody's watching me on a deer camera or something, but you're always on.
All the birds are cameras anyways.
Yeah, they're all
the
drones,
birds.
yeah.
Hey, you said on your trip, I want to talk about this, that you saw a bunch of bald eagles.
We saw at least 5, yeah.
That's so cool.
I'll tell you, the coolest one was, I think it was morning 5. We were at Flores Lake, which we did not, when I booked the campsite, I didn't know this. Flores Lake is
they have tacos?
No.
Oh, okay.
Different Flores. Flores Lake is a hotbed for kite surfing, where they surf with those big kind of oval kites. And there were people in this campsite. Everybody but us was there to go kite surfing. So it was we were leaving that campsite, which we had a great time, met some wonderful people. And it's all misty around this lake. We're walking right on the lake's edge, and I see this shadow coming out about 20 feet above my head out of the fog. And I look, and it's this giant bald eagle. And he flies. I go, Holly, And she looks up. He flies 20 feet over our head and then just disappears in the mist off to our left. I was like, I wanted to get that on camera, but the memory of that is so cool. You don't get to experience. I mean, I could see the talons on his feet.
Did he have a bottle of Fireball in his mouth? You gotta tell that story, because that's
so
okay. Yeah, out of all of Steve's hiking adventure, I get the Fireball takeaway.
Yeah. So I think Fireball is the official drink of Oregon.
I will let you know in a couple weeks.
They sell the little shot bottles in 10 packs in all the grocery stores there, but we did a little bit of hiking on the road, which was not my favorite part. And if you're ever going to go do the Oregon Coast Trail, try and cut those pieces out. But when we were on the road, Holly and I played a little game where every time we would see an empty Fireball bottle on the side of the road, they're little plastic bottles, we'd say, Fireball! We must have said Fireball 1,000 times.
What do you think it is about that?
I think it's basically just one quick drink of Fireball, and they throw the bottle out the window so that if they get pulled over, they're not arrested for drunk driving.
So there's just a bunch of Fireball alcoholics there in Oregon?
I mean, there were literally thousands. It was the most common piece of trash we saw on the whole trip. You couldn't go 50 feet, it seemed like, without seeing a bottle of Fireball. It was crazy. So that was one downside. But the trip itself, the very first day, we went out of Winchester on the coast in Oregon. About a mile down, we got on the beach, and we did not see another human being or another footprint for 6+ hours. It was just Holly and I on the beach, enjoying nature. We had the ocean on one side, the dunes on the other. It was glorious. It was so cool. It was like you were out in the middle of the Sahara Desert. There was nothing there but just us. It was so fun.
That sounds miserable.
You know what? It's funny. You said on your Facebook, you and I are so different. And I was thinking that. I love sleeping in a tent. No. I love cooking on a jet boil. Nope. I do. I like showering in a shower that you have to put quarters into.
Nope.
It was one of the best trips we've ever had, and we laughed and we just enjoyed things and saw just the most beautiful coast that you can ever even imagine.
That's the best part, though, is the laughing. I love anywhere where I can just sit there and I can just laugh with my partner and just have the best time. I don't care where I am.
I'll tell you what, we didn't have one crossword. There were a couple times the day got really long and very hard. We were just always backing each other up and smiling and laughing.
Because I warned you that if something happens to Holly, you're the first suspect. Because
that's true.
They think, sure, you went on a hiking trip.
Yeah.
Something happened to my wife.
Anyway, if you're ever thinking about doing a portion of the Oregon Coast Trail, reach out to me and I'll let you know the pluses and minuses. The pluses way outweigh the minuses, but there are a couple minuses about it.
And if you're ever interested in going to a 5-star resort with an umbrella in your drink.
I got to tell you this quick story. So the third night, we stayed at the Bandon Inn, which is a pretty...
The Abandoned Inn?
No, Bandon, B-A-N-D-O-N.
Even the A abandoned the inn.
Yeah. It's this pretty bougie hotel in downtown Bandon. It looks right out over the harbor. It's pretty fancy. There was a bunch of golfers there for some big golf tournament. So we go to check in, and the lady, we had our backpacks outside, so she didn't know. She goes, "Oh, I need your car make, model, and license plate." And I go, "Oh, we're backpacking." She goes, "Oh, vagrants." And I go, and I was shocked, and I'm handing her my platinum credit card for my $400 a night hotel, and I'm like, "Do you know what that word means?" Vagrants. Yeah, look at that. That's a nice hotel. I'm like, really? Vagrants.
Trash.
Yeah.
You're trash.
Homeless people, yeah. But I didn't have a good comeback at the time, but I thought of some good ones.
Well, you did have a homeless guy approach you, and you basically shunned him away and said that you were part of the tribe.
Did. I said, "Dude, we're just trying to get by on our own here." He goes, "Oh, I get it," and he trundled off.
As you're wearing your $1,000 watch.
No, I was thinking that.
I was thinking. Yeah, and whatever that other ring is.
Yeah, my Aura ring. Dude, we're just just trying to get by here. I don't have $3 for you, which is coincidentally, I believe $3 is the exact amount of a small bottle of Fireball.
Is the price of a Fireball. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew? Hey, you know what? Bring your own Fireball if you're going to go on the Oregon Coast Trail.
That's right. Hey, you had a couple people reach out to us and give us some kudos while I was gone.
I did, which I think is really cool when people reach out to us. One of them, his name was Lyndon, and I love when people give us guest suggestions also. But I really appreciate. I love the positive feedback or negative feedback, especially if it's not about me.
We don't mind constructive criticism, especially when it's about Michelle. But we'll take any.
She seems all right, though.
She seems all right, though.
She seems okay. But
Dustin.
No, I'm just going to remind you again. Please go like our page, our Instagram page, so we can continue doing our Facebook Live.
Yeah, we won't. If we don't get 1,000 followers, most of our videos get more than 1,000 views.
Yes.
But we don't have 1,000 followers yet. So please go right now. Do it while you're thinking about it.
Yeah, do it while you're thinking about it. I appreciate it. So you had a couple of stories that you wanted to talk about,
I
didn't
do.
you?
A couple quick things happening in the city of Dripping Springs. They outlawed fireworks in the historic district.
Okay, so I want to ask this question.
Can I give you the background on why they did it first?
Yeah.
So apparently during Founders Day, somebody set off fireworks and it was mistaken for gunfire.
Oh.
It set off quite a little bit of a chaotic situation.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't you. I'm sure it was.
Oh, so one incident ruined it for everybody?
Well, apparently, yeah, kind of.
Okay.
So in the historic district, which is the Hayes district, kind of behind Pigpen, the Mercer Street district, and Old Fitzhugh, those are all historic districts.
Okay.
You cannot set off fireworks ever. No more. Not even during the holidays. You can't set off firekes anymore. So go ahead. What were you saying?
I guess your story kind of brings up my criticism. Like, why do people care? But I guess that is a valid reason. But maybe they could clarify during Founders. I don't know. It's
I because I live very close to one of those areas.
You're okay
I'm
with
okay
it.
with it.
You're okay with it.
But I mean, I could, Founders Day's gotten, what do we get, like 100,000 people come through town? If you get whatever, 30,000 people down there, and all of a sudden somebody thinks there's somebody shooting, that could get really dangerous really quick.
So, who made that decision?
It was the city council voted on it. Somebody on the city council came up with the idea, and they approved it.
Oh, okay.
So another thing that the city is looking at, and I think it's a good idea, is directional signs around the city saying, City Hall is this way, the library is that way, school district building is that way. I think there's 7 of them they're looking. They're about $13,000 a piece. The city council is looking at that.
Can the city council fix the roads that are in the historical district?
Thank you very much.
The roads are crapola.
Yes, please. If you are from City Hall and you're on the city council, please let me know. Do I need to come and talk to you guys? Do I need to beg for you guys to fix the roads?
So we have a sidewalk now that's going to mainly be used during Founders.
Yes.
We have
an
ordinance.
Kudos.
Yeah, kudos. Okay. Because you can't drive in the street because you're going to fall on a big old pothole. And so they passed an ordinance about the fireworks, and now they have directional signs, $13,000. But yet we still have these ginormous potholes, especially behind Pigpen.
There's one behind Pigpen that if you drive through it in your car or my car, you will destroy your wheel, flat tire, and destroy your wheel right now. It's got to be 8 inches deep.
Let me just tell you, if anything else happens to something that I own that is under my insurance, they are not only going to cancel me, they are going to banish me forever. Because while you were gone, while you were gone, I hit a deer, and I not only did I hit a deer, I smacked the deer and I ran over the deer like a thunk, a thunk, a thunk, a thunk, a thunk. And when I came back Saturday, was coming back from San Antonio, I passed where I hit it, and because Todd said, "Well, maybe you didn't kill it. Maybe it just rolled and went." So
when you hear the ka-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk,
yeah, I saw the pancake. I killed it. And it was awful. Todd said, "Haven't you ever accidentally killed something?" And I said, "Not something that looked me in my eyeballs, like it legit looked me in my eyeballs." I felt worse about the deer than I did about my car. But you know what? My car's already fixed. It's done.
And don't tell anybody, but you had a couple dents in the front that they fixed.
Yeah.
Free of charge.
Yeah.
So it actually worked out all right.
But the deer actually took those 2 dents and made a bigger dent because when it hit its head,
Oh,
or whatever
yeah.
it was.
You know,
But, yeah.
I have a little piggyback on that. I expected to come back to see you driving a brand new car since you hit a deer, which you did not.
I'm waiting for my insurance settlement, not from my car, but from my house.
From the big insurance
Yeah.
settle. Well, when you go buy your new car, beginning July 1st this year, when you go purchase a new or used car from the dealer, you used to get those paper plates?
Yeah.
No more paper plates.
Oh, really?
You're actually going to get a metal license plate at the dealer now.
What if you have vanity plates?
You can pay to transfer them over at the dealer. So they'll take them off your old car and put them on your new car.
Interesting.
Yeah,
oh, why is that?
Well, this House Bill 718 passed during 2023. The guy that sponsored it, State Rep Craig Goldman, who's a Republican out of Fort Worth, said the current temporary paper tag system in Texas has provided criminals an easy way to disguise vehicles, avoid prosecution, and inflate public safety problems in Texas. So people were taking those paper plates and putting them on unregistered cars and driving them around.
Oh.
So, yeah,
well, you know what I always thought weird about paper plates? It would show your name on there.
Yeah. Does it show your name?
Yeah,
I think they did away with that. I thought that was kind of strange. Yeah.
I'm just going to say, for those that don't see us, that can only hear us, Sasquatch is pretty smelly.
Like, are you smelling Sasquatch?
I can smell.
Could be me.
No.
Could be me. I brought Oregon with me.
We have
an air freshener that we unveiled.
Unwrapped.
Unwrapped.
What does he smell like? Is it pine?
I think it's pine. So like pine.
Piney. He's very piney for sure.
Let me wrap up the paper tags thing. When you buy a used car from a private seller, it's still going to happen the old way, which was you keep your plates and put them on your. Go in and register your car at the county building like you used to. But anyway, no more paper plates.
I'm about to go through the car hell. Like all I really need to do is I just need to test drive these two vehicles. I want to look at the Land Cruiser and I want to look at the Lexus TX. I want to test drive. I want to get in. I want to see if they have the stuff. I want to see if I think the TX is assembled in the U.S. So therefore I will qualify for the interest rate deduction on my taxes. I don't know about the Land Cruiser though, but I think some of them are in San Antonio. I'm not certain.
A Land Cruiser is a big ass car.
It's actually like I think 2 inches bigger than the 4Runner. I've looked comparison.
That's not bad.
It's actually kind of a 4Runner-esque. But yeah, I think I'm going to do this all online because I don't want to go in, and I sure as heck don't want to take.
You'll get a better deal if you go in.
Well, I want to go. I think I may go to San Antonio and go get it.
Just go sit in there and drive them nuts. When you go, that
is my specialty.
They do the little thing. So, what would you like, the payment or the price, and what interest rate? And
I've been watching a lot of TikTok about what not to talk about.
Yeah, no matter what they say, you ask for another discount until they're like crying and they want to kick you out the door.
Yes, and free window tint.
Yes, free window tint.
So if any of our listeners actually has a Lexus salesperson or a Toyota salesperson you would like me to use,
only if they'll give Michelle a good deal.
Only if they give me free tint and free WeatherTech floor mats.
Yes.
That's it.
She'll even give you a shout out. So
I will
on the air.
I will give you a shout out. Hey, so Burke Center, having
Guest
Steve on
today.
Yeah.
Steve Fournier, the executive director for Burke Center for Youth. We've been trying to get him on for a while. We had to reschedule some things. Really interesting gentleman. Can't wait to sit down.
Very interesting, and I've known about Burke Center since I moved out here out to Austin years and years ago, 93, 94. I heard about this, and so I thought what I would do is I would deep dive a little bit into their history of who they are, why they are, and so the Burke Center was founded in 1973 on this ranch in Driftwood as a faith-inspired residential treatment center for boys ages 10 to 17. Their mission is to promote healing and inspire hope for children in crisis, which is amazing. The visionaries, Rosemary Burke and Charlie Campisi, I think it's how you say their last name, also Rosemary Burke Campisi, they're the ones that founded it. And they've just done amazing things with that place. I know you guys have probably heard about the Burke car rally that they used to have, and now there was kind of a couple of other.
They did a gala after that. Now that's kind of split off. It's still a fundraiser that contributes to the Burke Center, but it's its own entity.
I guess they kind of have their own in-house, but they're always looking for donations. In the 1990s, they added a licensed child placement and adoption agency, which I didn't even know. They also have multiple offices across Texas, and that they support foster to adopt. The Pathfinders Ranch program combines individual, group, and equine therapy education with an on-site UT charter school, which I think is really cool.
That is cool.
They also have woodworking, gardening, sports, and daily activities that foster healing. And then they had some expansion milestones. Now, your best friend Chuck was a part of this.
Chuck Lamont,
this one, yeah.
Great guy.
In 2016, they launched a transition home supporting the young men that kind of age out of foster, so the 18 to 22 years old that they have aged out of traditional care, and they provide therapy, life skills, job and college prep. And then in 2021, they opened Founders Hall Dorm. This is what Chuck helped.
Oh, the big dorm?
Yes.
He didn't help. He built that. That was his project.
Each boy now has their own room thanks to a $3.1 million campaign where the community raised funds and did this, which was awesome. So on the campus, they feature a barn, gym, dorms, dining halls, a horse arena, a pool, workshops that have auto, welding, culinary arts. Isn't that cool? They have culinary arts. Chapel, outdoor recreation areas. They also have fostered more than 24 Eagle Scout projects on campus,
so cool.
Including a recent van shelter. Over its time, it has served over 4,000 boys in the last 50 plus years, and at any given time, I think they hold about 20 to 30 boys. And I found a really cool success story. I don't know if Steve is going to talk about the success story too, but I found this online, and his name was Jeffrey Yarbrough. And he was a former resident who grew up at a Pathfinders Ranch, Burke's residential program for boys in foster care. He spent over 3 years there receiving constant care, therapeutic support, and academic guidance. And Jeffrey said, if I never had a program like they have had, I would probably end up somewhere where I wouldn't want to be for a long time. His time at Burke Center provided the safety, counseling, and mentorship that he needed to turn his life around. Upon aging out at 18, Jeffrey transitioned into Burke's transitional housing, which I just talked about, where he secured a job and successfully launched into his adult life, an inspiring testament to Burke's long-term impact. Jeffrey's stories reflects Burke's mission to promote healing and inspire hope for children in crisis, showing how boys can rebuild their lives with care, structure, and a belief in their potential. So I'm sure there's many, many success stories out there. So I'm sure Steve will talk about that as well. But, I never really kind of understood the mission statement behind it. I was a little kind of confused about who these children were, and
well, they all come from troubled homes.
They all do.
They all need a higher level of care than is available just in normal. What do you call it?
Well, there was different levels, right? There's different levels of care that these kids need.
I was not thinking adoption. I can't remember the word I was
thinking. Foster care. Yeah, foster care.
Traditional foster.
And it's
My
really,
brain is still in Oregon.
It's really, really hard to find support for especially boys, but teenage boys. And so for over 50 plus years that our Texas Hill Country has been a part of creating young men like this.
Community has supported them from start to finish, and that mission is ongoing, and the town still continues to support them. So I'm really looking forward to visiting with Steve. Let's take a little break and get him on in here.